And it's now time for our sort of final speaker. And this is Musa Nela. Musa is a recent alumnus of ULaw and a finalist of our Change the World Fund competition. He'll be sharing his story of coming to the UK as an unaccompanied asylum seeker to finishing his law degree, and why he decided to enter the Change the World Fund competition. So Musa will be discussing why it's important to advocate for opportunities and support, ensuring candidates are selected based on their skills and abilities and not their status. So welcome, Musa. I think hopefully Musa will join us in just a second. I think he's just getting himself ready. And please remember there's an opportunity to use the chat box as well for Q&A just after Musa's talk. Thank you. Thanks, Musa.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I hope everyone can hear me. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. As Patrick said, my story is a bit different from everyone else. I arrived in the UK at the age of 17 as an unaccompanied asylum seeker. I didn't came with parents, or I didn't came through legal routes. I had to travel. I had to escape my country in a way and travel by illegal means to enter UK. I came here, as said, at the age of 17 without anyone to support, and I didn't know what to do. I never thought I will reach this stage, because when I came, actually, I was scared of what to do or what's going to happen to me now. And I was registered with Birmingham City Council first, and then I made my claim to for asylum. Unfortunately for me, my claim was rejected, and that's not because I didn't have a case or my case was not strong. That's because I didn't have the best lawyers that someone can have. Now that I look back, is not my lawyers claimed legal aid that they came with me to my interview process with the Home Office, or made my witness statement, and in reality they didn't. So I had to go through rejection by Home Office, which was very hard, because in a way I came to this country to ask for help, and now I'm getting rejected and they are asking me to leave. I had to appeal. I appealed to first year tribunal. I still had the same lawyers, and my case was rejected there as well. So that was my second rejection. Then I decided to change my lawyers, because I saw that there was nothing going on. So I changed my lawyer. I went to upper tribunal, and the upper tribunal sent me to first tribunal. And since I changed the lawyer, in a way, like I stayed 3 years an asylum seeker with the same lawyers, but as soon as I changed, in 6 months, I was granted leave to remain in the UK. Even though I was an asylum seeker, I always loved education. I was a bit of a nerd, and I always wanted to be a doctor. I never wanted to be a lawyer. And even in UK, I studied science in BTech level 2 and level 3. When I decided to change, it was in college. I stood up and became president of student union and student governor. And for me, this was the opportunity or the rope I could climb to know myself and to see how far I can reach. I always knew that I have this ability and I have this drive through, but I was always unsure. And the fact that I could enter the board of directors and met with so many wise people, and also have this responsibility to being in charge of all of the students, changed me as a person. And that's when I thought that I have this advocacy skills, and also talking by talking to the principal or other governors, and they hinted me that it would be great to be a lawyer. I still was determined to be a doctor, and also became patient governor of NHS because I loved it. But then I changed. I used to go to one of the refugee camps, refugee places in Birmingham, and one of the volunteers was actually one student from the University of Law, and Abira, and I used to have so many like talks with her, and she introduced me to the University of Law and told me how great the university it was. I applied to University of Law as an asylum seeker. I never knew that I'm going to be accepted, or I never knew that I'll start my university. I think when I first felt accepted at the University of Law is that I received an offer to study LLB, Law with Business, as an asylum seeker. And this showed to me that the University of Law would welcome me no matter what my background is, or what was my immigration status. Fortunately for me, before starting the university that summer, I was granted leave to remain, and I was able to apply for student finance, and then everything was sorted. I don't think I had shared with anyone that in university that I was an asylum seeker. I still was a bit like scared that I'm going to be judged or any way, but turned out that University of Law is so welcoming, and it doesn't care about your background. Before going to lockdown, I always wanted to meet with the University of Law, like the WISE, to have that, to continue that role of responsibility, and I became the vice president of Birmingham campus, and I wanted to have that responsibility to know this new life. But also for me it was quite hard to change from science to law and try to adapt everything, and plus to study hard but study in different way. I think University of Law for me is the best, and before the lockdown happened, I really enjoyed like going to campus and like studying at the silent library and meeting other people, other students, and also going to have meetings with tutors and ask them for advice, because I didn't know yet then what I wanted to do. When lockdown happened, I saw that the University of Law had created this Change the World Fund, and one of the employability members, Claire, that I used to have like regular meetings, said to me that you have already started a campaign. You are already asking the government to provide guardians to all unaccompanied asylum seekers like me, so they don't have to go through the same route. Why you don't apply for the fund from Change the World Fund? And I was like, nah, think I don't think I'm gonna get it, or I don't think that that's gonna happen. And in a way, she convinced me to apply, and also I applied. I had my interview with Nicoletta, with the vice chancellor, and for me was 3 years ago. I was an asylum seeker and didn't know if I'm gonna stay in UK, and now I'm making my pitch to the vice chancellor of the University of Law, which was quite the opposite. I didn't want Change the World Fund. I was a finalist, and they decided to give me a grant of £3,000 to help me with the campaign. I think I forgot to mention, I was the young trustee of the Children's Society, and I had created a campaign where we are asking the government to provide legal guardians and provide more opportunities to asylum seekers. And I was really shocked to receive the answer that the university have decided to. They were impressed with my scenario and decided to help, and that was really comfortable for me. It made me feel so welcome and accepted, and a part of the community of ULaw. I remember that a few days after the dean of campus called me and said how proud she was of my achievement, and it made me feel really comfortable, and I carried on. Since then, I didn't just receive the funding, like £3,000 to carry on with the campaign, but also I received mentoring from the University of Law. I was allocated a mentor to help me to create more ideas on how to proceed with my campaign. And I'm very proud to say that today, with the help of Children's Society, ULaw, and other organizations, we have received a number of 21,500 signatures, and we have officially handed the petition to the Home Office. We are in a process of waiting for the decision makers to either accept our story, accept our petition, or ask for a meeting with us. I'm going to share a video with you to the end, but of the campaign and the help from ULaw. But going to my present and my future, I'm very proud. I think I'm beyond joy to say that I have completed my LLB Hans Law with Business at the University of Law. I received an upper second class, not a first, but upper second class is enough to apply to go to do your master's and to carry on with your postgraduate degrees. Furthermore, I have accepted an offer to study the Barrister professional course with masters from the University of Law. I have received other offers from other universities and other scholarships, but I think the quality of the people and the quality of the learning that the University of Law has, you cannot find it anywhere else. And I have also received a scholarship from the Middle Temple, and one of the references that the head of undergraduate degree, Janet Wright, like she wrote a reference for me that came to the interview so many times, and I was like, thank you, Janet, all the time, because that was one of the reasons I got it. Like other speakers, yeah, I do suffer from mental health difficulties as well. I have the imposter syndrome because I'm never happy with what I have now, and seems a bit ungrateful, but also as soon as because maybe of my life, as soon as something goes wrong, I receive a rejection, I feel like everything is falling apart, and that is actually hard to live with, but that's something that I think the more rejections you get, the easier it becomes, because as one of the previous speakers said, even if you get 100 rejections, you only gonna get one pupillage. And I don't really care about rejections, because I know that at the end I'll get the pupillage and go where I want. For me, becoming a barrister now, it's not about me. It's not about what I have come and I have crossed everything. It's about going to work every day knowing that there is someone needing my help, but most importantly, there is some way I can help them. And I don't come from low background or medium or high. I come from no background at all. And I think if it didn't have been for the care and dedication of the University of Law, I don't think I would ever be in this position. And it's because of them that it's not every day that an asylum seeker finishes the law degree, but the day is today. And I want more asylum seeker or more young people and care leavers that I myself to have these opportunities to unleash their potentials. And ULaw is making this happen. And I know I spoke a bit uh, more than I was allowed, but I think thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have at the end.
We are the Youth-led Commission on Separated Children.
Separate children like us arriving in Northern Ireland and Scotland. Just specially trained independent guardians to support them throughout the asylum process.
So why not in England and Wales?
Campaigners all over the country are working with us to make this change.
Every child needs someone to turn to. We have faced this struggle.
And we want to create a real change for children who arrive after us.
Only by coming together can we make real change.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Patrick.
Oh, thank you so much, Musa. Wow. I think hard to imagine your experience, but I think that there's some really important messages in there for everyone. And I'm sure a lot of people will take a lot from that. We wish you the best of luck with your petition at the Home Office, and hopefully that will come through. But I know there's something there about not feeling judged, and what everyone, I think, linked everyone together in terms of how important that sense of belonging is, I think, and it's great that at ULaw you found that at the campus, and it's great that you're staying on and studying at ULaw as well. So thank you so much for that.